Hey guys, this is Big C here. I'm going to bring you this Angerblader Premium deck profile. I brought this deck to like the past 5 Golden Phoenix Games tournaments. The one in February I got top 4 with, so let's get started. Starter, minimum card home. It's basic V starter. When you ride at the top of it, draw a card. If you went second, get a quick shield. Then we got 4 of the Stride Crit Argenwarfer, however you pronounce his name. When you discard it, you can discard it as a grade 3 for Stride. Then we got 4 of the Stand Trigger Coel Magnum, GB1. When this unit is put into drop zone, you can draw a card, put it on the bottom of your deck, shuffle +5 to one of your units. It's a really good card. It just recycles into the deck, and then you can stand your rear guards off of Neveros drive checks. Then we got 3 draw PG, draw trigger, perfect guard. Nothing more there. 4 younger Parasound heal trigger. It's cute. I play it. And then 1 over trigger. The over trigger just lets you restand your Vanguard on drive check. As for grade 1s, we play 4 Savage Shooter. When it's placed on Vanguard, you can Soul Blast 1, draw a card, Superior Call anything from your hand, give it a gauge. On rear guard, you can rest it, choose one of your rear guards without a gauge, and then give it a gauge from your drop zone. Really good card. It's made this deck a lot better. Then we play 4 Sonic Noah. When it's boosting something in front of it, you give that unit a gauge. On hit where it self-hit or the unit boosted hits, retire something, draw a card. And then we got 4 Laceratex. On place, give itself a gauge. When it's retired by anything actually, Soul Blast 1, add that gauge to your hand. Then we play 1 Prism Bird, top 5 grade 3 searcher. If anything got a gauge during that turn, it gets +5. And then 1 Twin Buckler Dragon. It's one of the new PGs from the Overdress set. It's really good. I couldn't figure out anything else to take out for the over trigger, so I ended up taking out a draw perfect guard. As for grade 2s, Clear Out Dragon Sweeper Acro Canto. Really good card, heart and soul of the deck. When it attacks once per turn, it gives itself a gauge. And then continuously for the game, if it has 3 or more gauge, it gets, I think it's basically resist. Yeah, it just can't be chosen by your opponent's card effects, and it gets +5 for each gauge on it. So that's including on your opponent's turn. So if you have 3 gauge on it, it's a 24. Have 5, it's a 34, etc., etc. Then we have 4 Ravenous Dragon Megarex. Vanguard or rear guard. On attack, you can retire a rear guard, draw a card. Then you can counterblast 1 to give it a gauge, and however many gauge it has under it, it gets +5. It's a really good card. It helps you get draw power early game, and it's another target for starting card effects. 4 Turbo Smilodon. This is a really good card in the deck. On place or on attack at a Vanguard, you give any unit a gauge. So it just helps power up your sweepers. It helps you get to the 3 gauge that's needed on certain cards. It's a really good card. Next we have 4 Thundering Sword Dragon Angerblader. This card is really, really good. If you're going first, it can help you push your opponent to 5 damage, like as soon as you ride up, or you can just finish them off on it. Its act skill is you choose one of your rear guards and you can put it underneath another of your rear guards as an equip gauge, and then retire a rear guard. And then on attack, counterblast 1, choose 3 of your rear guards with 3 or more equip gauge, stand them. Your front row gets plus 5,000. Next we have 2 Fiery Light Dragon Optical Serato. This is basically just the grade 3 version of Turbo Smilodon. On place, on attack of Vanguard, give something a gauge. Next we have a kind of a weird tech that I don't see most people play. Destruction Dragon Dark Rex. His act skill is from Drop Zone. You can choose 2 of your equip gauge on anything, send them to graveyard, and if you did not ride this turn, you can call it or you can ride it. And then it also, during your turn, gets plus 2,000 for every equip gauge on the board. It's a really good card. It's another target for Savage Shooter or for one of your strides, and it's just another target. So it's basically like you're playing a 5th sweeper in the deck. Next we'll go on to the strides. I play 3 Gluttony Neveros. When it attacks, you engorge, and if you engorged, you retire 2 of your opponent's rear guards, flip a stride, any stride face up. You eat 5 gauge or 5 rear guards, and then he restands. So you can swing with him, engorge, restand him. So it also keeps the drive checks, so you're getting 6 drive checks during that one turn. It's also another reason we're only playing 3 draw triggers, just because you go through your deck really fast. And then its second ability is in the G zone, you can Soul Last One, give anything a gauge, and then that unit becomes engorged for the turn. Next we play 2 Angerblader. This stride is basically just our Angerblader, but honestly kind of better. So when you place a rear guard, you get the option to give it 3 gauge from the drop zone. So you can call the sweeper, you can call the Dark Rex, and then just give it 3 gauge from the drop zone. And then on attack, you counterblast 1, flip something, stand all of your rear guards with 3 or more gauge. And then you retire that many of your opponent's rear guards. It's a really good card. It's multi-attack. It helps finish off your opponent. Next we have 4 Gaia Devastate. This is a really good card for the Link Joker matchup, which is why we're running it at 4. On attack, engorge, counterblast 1, flip him. You can choose 2 circles, I believe. Yeah, counterblast 1, flip him, draw a card, choose up to any 2 circles for each face-up card in the G zone, and send those cards to the drop zone. Since it targets the circles, it gets around lock, which is what Link Joker's main thing is. And then if you sent 3 or more cards to your own drop zone, it gets plus 10k, a crit, and an extra drive. Next we have 2 Gaia Dynast. This card is kind of just in here for flip. I don't really see it come up in many matchups, so I kind of just flip it for my Neveros or my Angerblader turns. I'm probably gonna take them out for a Drachma and then maybe a Progenitor Dragon, but for now it's just in here as flip fodder. Now we're going on to the G-Guards. Play 2 Bullish Primer. This is the best G-Guard that Tachi's has. It's GB1, on place, flip another G-Guard. It gets plus 5,000 for each of your open rear guard circles. So it turns itself into a 15 got 2 more open circles, that's 25. You get the Excel circle, so that's also a circle. So if you have 4, that's 25, 35. It's just a really good guard. Next, we have 1 blockade Genga. When it's placed, I can retire a rear guard. This unit gets plus 10k shield, and then I can target 2 of my rear guards, and when they're retired, those rear guards return to my hand. So if I choose 2 grade 2 units and intercept with them, they stay on the guard circle, but when they're retired, they go back to my hand. Next, we have 1 dark elemental dismal. On place, target a rear guard. It can't be targeted or hit for that turn. So it's really good when somebody's trying to kill off one of your sweepers, because if they kill off your sweeper, you don't really do anything for the rest of the game. So you just target one of your sweepers with that, and then it can't be hit and it can't be targeted. Then we have 1 Dimorphilex. It's just one of your base G guards on place. If your opponent has more rear guards than you, it gets plus 5k. But it's probably going to come out for another blockade Genga, just because that card's really good. That's it for the deck profile. I'm probably going to take this to the next GPG as well. It's a really good deck. You just have to figure out the kinks with it. Yeah, that's it. Like, subscribe, follow for more content.